Just out on this morning's dog walk before I get ready for the 10:30 individual time trial, stage 5 of Flamme Rouge Racing. This is the Syco-list. Let's get on with it. So this is stage 5 of Tour Britannia individual time trial today. Started off in pen C, which was, I thought, for my category, but it appears it's a mixed category. In the individual time trial you can take whichever pen you want. So there's a real mixed bag of riders in this event today, 134 riders in total, but all different categories, as you can see on the screen. A's, B's and C's, all race pens have been let off together in one go, so it's hard to work out who you're racing against. But mentally for me, I know this is 10 laps of the Glasgow Crit circuit in reverse, and it's me against the clock, it's not me against any other riders. I've gone out here quite quick, which I probably will regret in a little while, but I'm hoping to average for this race. I've sat down and tried to work it out. If I could average 275 watts for this race, I'd be happy with that. That'd probably get me to finish this just under 20-mile race within about 50 minutes, which is what I was thinking. But yeah, it's a mental thing for me today in my head. I've just got to race it and do the best I can. It's the 5th day of racing. Did last night's race a bit later than planned, and I'm back out early this morning to get this individual time trial done. I'm happy though. We're just coming around to the start of the first lap now, but yeah, going to start off quick and probably fade towards the end. There's lots to talk about, negative splits and stuff like that, but I find that I'm never any good at starting off and building up. So even when I've done 10-mile time trials out on the road, I just try and set a power figure that I want for the whole duration and see if I can hold it. If I can average 275 watts for this race today, I'd be very happy with that. This is quite an interesting little circuit. Just about to do the Clyde kicker in reverse. I've never actually done this course before. Definitely not done it this way round. I've done the Clyde kicker numerous times in other events we've done in this tour series, but obviously we're doing this in reverse, and I don't think I've done this little crit circuit before, so I've got to enjoy the fact that I'm doing it 10 times today, I suppose. Hopefully set some PRs along the way. But yeah, just settling into this first lap, seeing how I get on, and just trying to maintain my power figures. Went off a bit quick, as I said, but my figures have come down a little bit now, so currently averaging just under 300 watts with nearly coming up to 5 minutes in, so not too bad. Just trying to work out where the little kicks are and where the downhill bits are, so I can work out how best to do upcoming laps. So getting some data recorded now for these segments and just see if I can improve on them as we go round. But at the moment, just settling myself in. Heart rate's coming up nicely, figures are still there, so Just trying to look on the right hand side of the screen. Obviously I'm in category HAB. Coming into this event I was sat 38th I believe in GC, so just need to do the best I can against competitors in my category. So there's a couple of HAB riders that I can see with their names with it added to afterwards, so it's just a case of trying to stick with those and stay with those riders as we go round. As we just return to it here, just getting at this little kicker here. I've got this rider in front of me, Pricey. He's not in my category, but I've just decided that he seems to be putting out a decent amount of watts per kilos. So if I can sort of stay with him and keep him either with me or a couple of seconds in front of me, then he might be a good marker for me to try and follow. Obviously we're getting no aero benefits or any draft benefits from being behind other riders, as we're all on TT bikes and it's the way they've set up the Tour series. But if I can keep him in my sights and sort of stay with him, I'd be happy with that at the moment. Just keeping the power on and just stay with him, that's the sort of aim of the game now. So this is coming up to the end of lap 2 now. I've still got Pricey in front of me, still keeping the gap relatively the same. It does fluctuate a little bit, but I've got a rider behind me, Connolly, who's in my category and who's 4 seconds behind me. So I've got to try and keep that rider behind me and keep this rider in front of me and see how we get on as the laps go on. So as you'd expect with individual time trial, they're not the most exciting thing to talk about, but my plan seems to be working well. I've still got the rider in front of me a second or so ahead of me, and I'm maintaining the distance from the rider in my category behind me. Coming up towards the end of the third lap now. Power figures around 283 average, so I'm still above my target that I've set myself at 275. So heart rate's up a little bit. My heart rate tops out at 176. So at the moment I'm managing this effort quite well. And each time I go round, the levels aren't too bad. The Clyde kicker in reverse isn't too bad. I seem to have managed it quite well on the last few attempts. As we go on, I'll see how more difficult it gets. So over that Clyde kicker there, Pricey's just set a PR on it, and he's got 4 seconds ahead of me now, and Connolly is 1 second behind me, so I've gradually drifted back a little bit. Still looking to target the figures that I'm at, but still managing the effort quite well. Coming up towards the end of the 4th lap, so still a lot to go, but just sort of managing this effort quite well. I didn't want to burn out too early and just end up having a zone 2, zone 3 effort back in. I wanted to try and manage the effort throughout the whole race and see how well I can do. As you can see, my watts average is dropping down to 280 watts now. I'm on my 5th lap out of 10, and we're starting to pick up some tail enders. As we've all started at the same time, everyone on the circuit is racing different categories, different abilities, so as it's a 2-mile lap, there are people that we're coming up behind that we have about to lap, and no doubt the stronger riders in a little while will start lapping me. But yeah, just picking up a few of the people now to lap. Pricey, the rider that I'm chasing down, is 6 seconds ahead of me now, but I'm still managing to keep 3 seconds with the rider from my category behind me. So all in all, I'm holding where I am quite well. There is a rider ahead of me now, lacking same category, who's 3 seconds ahead of me, so ideally if I can close him down, then potentially there's another place back. But there's a few that I can see on the list that are ahead of me in my category. There's another one that's 9 seconds away, Docker. So yeah, just a case of managing my own race, and if there are people down in front of me that are a few seconds ahead in my category and I can see that, then maybe I'll put the digs in a little bit later on if I've got the legs for it. So here I've managed to close down one of the riders that was ahead of me earlier on, Lacken, who's in my category. Here I am just gaining on him now, so if I can get with him, maybe get past him and try and put a few seconds in, that'd be good. My marker Pricey still out in front of me, 4 seconds away, and I'm still holding off Connolly behind, who's got 4 seconds behind me. So all in all, the three of us are all matching each other at the moment, and I'm starting to pick off other riders as I come through. So just moved up to 53rd place, which doesn't mean anything in this race whatsoever, because obviously we're all different categories, so it's a real mixed bag today. But obviously Lacken there, realising I'm in his categories, coming back past me and putting a bit of an effort in, 6 watts per kilo going up the hill. Yeah, this might make the last few laps quite interesting if he wants to sort of have a little battle for that position. I'm quite happy to see if I've got the legs for it, but at the moment I'm just sticking to my game of holding the power and trying to keep those figures as and when I can, really. I did ease off the pedals there coming over the top of that one because I thought I was going to sit with him, but then in my head I was like, why should I ease off and just sit with him? I get no draft or any benefits from sitting with him. I might as well just keep pushing at my own pace, my own tempo, and see if I can either get away from him and catch other people and put the effort in I want to achieve. So pedals down, let's keep going, see if we can push through a bit more. just turning this corner for this little kicker. My benchmark price is now in front of me. You can see him. I'm literally gaining on him at the moment. So that's my benchmark. I've managed to catch him. There's not a lot ahead. I've managed to put 5 seconds between myself and Lacken, and I've got 5 seconds over Connolly as well, still behind me, but I've managed to gain and catch on pricing. That's probably because he's either easing up or he's blowing up, but he's been hard to catch, but I've managed to gain on him at the moment. But I don't know if that means I'll be able to get past him or if we'll just hold each other at the moment. But it seems to be from the same team as Lacken, because they're wearing the same coloured kit, so maybe they were trying to work together, I don't know. But free that one, and now just pushing on, seeing where we get to. I've started to be lapped, I believe, as well, or about to be lapped by other riders that are really pushing off the pace at the front. So just trying to stick to my own game. It's hard having all these different category riders on the same circuit at the same time, but you've just got to stick to your guns, stick to your own plan. My average power is dropping down, it's down to 279 now, and I've got just over 3 laps still to go. Just here you'll see that I'm putting the effort up, going up this climb 5 watts per kilo, and this rider that's lapping me literally comes past me over 7 watts per kilo, and just leaves me. absolutely leaves me. He's got King of the Mountain, Mr. Miller, but yeah, just absolutely left me there, and without knowing he's gone in the distance. But that's just one of those things. There's lots of people on here that are putting out over 5 watts per kilo for these sorts of races. I'll be lucky if I'm at 3.5, but we'll see at the end. Just digging in for the final bits, and then hopefully if I've got anything left in the legs, I'll try and put harder effort in on the final lap. But at the moment, just I'm happy where all my figures are sat, happy with my power output, happy that my heart rate's in a good range, and just keeping on those pedals, trying to bring this effort home. I really don't know what's going to happen after stage 5 with the GCs. I'm quite a way off the top 10, but I'm hoping that if I can finish in the top 30 on GC for my first Tour series on Swift, I'll be really happy with that. So that's the end goal, but I've still got 5 days of racing left. So here we are, just coming up to start the final lap of this race. Just going under the banner now. This is the start of the final lap. Still happy with all my figures and stuff. There's one rider ahead of me, Docker, that's 5 seconds ahead of me, that's in my category. If I could catch him, that would be brilliant, but the likelihood is we're just matching each other watts per kilos. We're matching each other, so if I can gain anything, I'm unlikely to gain the 5 seconds in this lap. But I'm just keeping those people that were behind me. I'm just pushing on for what I can get, and hopefully when it works itself out in my category of race, I've got a good finishing position. So we've got half a mile left to go now. I'm not gaining on that other rider in front of me. Still got a 5 second gap on me. We are literally just matching each other watts per kilos. I've clearly put in more of an effort on this lap because my average watts has increased to 279 average watts. Out the saddle here, little dig just to see if I can get any time back on Docker. Got it down to 3 seconds, but I don't think I'm going to get much more. So the final bend now to go into the finish line. I've got 3 seconds behind Docker, but I'm not going to gain and catch him. Average watts is up to 280, happy with that. Let's see what the stats are for this race then. There you go, finished 5th in my category, 280 watts, 3.5 watts per kilo.
Well, there you go. Stage 5 now completed. Today was obviously the individual time trial as you've just watched. Happy with the figures for that one. Legs are feeling a bit tired after the last 5 days of racing. 5 more days to go. Really enjoying the tour series, first one I've done. If you've liked this video, please click the like button, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.